Welcome back to Builders Highway. My name is Eric Cederberg. Today we have a little bit of a different format presenting our latest consignment object for a couple of reasons. One, because it's a very special car. Number two, we have about a foot of snow outside. Number three, my distinguished colleague Alex, who's behind the camera, is actually elsewhere getting some other cars ready for you. So anyways, without much further ado, here is today's presentation, and it's about this Ultima Evolution. All right, so most of you guys have definitely heard the name Ultima before, and you know what it is. Probably mainly the Ultima GTR, which has been around for quite a few years. This car behind me is the Ultima Evolution, which is pretty much says what it is in the name, an evolution of the GTR. This chassis, this car, this build is mainly based for the newer types of engines, mainly the LS engines, which this car has right here. It has the LS 376 480, so it's 6.2 liters, 480 horsepower. It's a great sort of hot rod engine. You can find a ton of different hot rod builds, you know, old Pro Touring builds, whatnot, and also in the Ultima Evolutions. So the Ultima Evolutions have a little bit of updated interior compared to the older GTRs, and you can tell by sitting here, it's quite cozy. Obviously, it's not the biggest cabin in the world, but you sit really good in here. There's plenty of space, quite airy, to be honest. And you know, even though you have a full roll cage in the car and whatever, it's a nice place to sit. The builder of this car is also the seller of the car. It only has about barely 600 kilometers in it since it was finished, fully registered, and the guy who built it is an ex-engineer from the industry. He's been in the car industry for many years, and you can tell by the attention to detail that he's put in this car. You know, the fitment, the finish, the connectors, the wiring, plumbing, you name it. It's probably one of the best Ultimas I've ever seen when it comes to attention to detail, which is really, really cool. And these cars, people build them just to race on some of them, people build them for the street and whatnot, but obviously different skill sets, if you put it that way. But this guy really put a lot of effort into it, and you can tell. And if you see in the video here and the photo in the auction, it's probably, I think you guys will think the same thing as I am. All right, so a couple of the main points for this car worth knowing. As I mentioned before, the 376 480 horsepower engine in it. It's currently detuned for the registration, so it's only a tune away from 480 plus horsepower. It has a Porsche 996 Carrera transmission in the rear, turned upside down obviously for this setup. And it has the coilovers directly from Ultima. And a couple of details he did himself was it has an AC system that actually works really good. It's got a good stereo, it's got a charging system, and also it's prepared with the Max ECU computer in it for the ABS and the electronic stability control in the car. So anyone who wants to drive this car and has a little bit of, let's say, tech experience or wants to pay someone to do it, this car can be set up as it was factory built with all those safety measures in it. There's another couple of small details upgrades worth mentioning for this car. On the exterior, carbon fiber rear wing, carbon fiber rear mirrors look really good and work great. On the interior, we have the OMP steering wheel with Alcantara ring. We have the Corbeau Alcantara race seats, or leather Alcantara race seats, beautiful with the yellow stitching, or the gold stitching, I would say more, and the embroidery on the back. The full roll cage, of course, it has a beautiful, really, really great CAE shifter. 6-point harnesses, not installed right now. They're over here. So free to install if anybody would like to use them, if you're going to be tracking the car or whatnot. Carbon fiber lids for the door sills, and footrest, stereo as mentioned before. The car really is complete. Fantastic condition, obviously. The car is almost brand new, 600 kilometers in the car, or not even 600 in the car. And registered and just ready to rock. So we hope that whoever gets this car is actually going to use this car not only for the street, but for the track. And with this engine setup, it's definitely ready for some big upgrades, which we respond very well to. So anyways, good luck in the auction. Any questions as usual, post in the comments here, post in the comments in the auction. There's a ton of video, ton of photos, ton of documentation of this car. And anyways, good luck and take care.